We have often discussed on this show the trials of Donald Trump. This week we had the conviction of President Biden's son, Hunter Biden, on a gun charge. Now, the trial had its share of drama, particularly the testimony of Haley Biden, Hunter's ex-wife Kathleen Boole, and Biden's daughter Naomi. We saw the anguish of addiction and the splintered family. Rick, what's your takeaway from this particular trial?
It was a very sad case, but I looked at this in perspective with the Trump case. And while the two cases have, different specific charges, what they have in common is big name. They have charges that could or could not have been filed. There was a lot of discretion on the part of prosecutors. You have obviously political considerations. And what I was happy to see is that they were handled in consistent fashion. And in both of them, juries found the defendants guilty and rather quickly. So for me, I look at this as the justice system worked, and then one side can't go and say this is all rigged.
And for those of us who are in favor of common sense gun laws, we kind of have to walk the walk here. I mean, this is a law that he broke, which basically said that people who are addicted to drugs shouldn't be able to purchase a gun. And he lied about whether he was using crack cocaine and purchased a gun, and he shouldn't have been able to. And, if we want to support gun control and common sense gun laws, we need to support their implementation, and he was guilty.
Well, it seems a pretty clear case from what I've been reading, Anirban.
Well, I mean, there's two parts to this. One is that, yes, there were crimes that were committed, and the judicial process should take its course. But I see this stark difference in the way the Republicans react to this and the Democrats' leadership reacted to this, right? The Republicans were screaming, oh, this is lawfare, the entire thing is rigged.
Talking about
Trump. But when this comes, Democrats said that this is a judicial process. The judicial process should take its precedence, and we will see what happens with the appeal. Now, I was reading an article by a career prosecutor who clearly said that, this is a strange case. In most cases, it could have been resolved by an appeal, and there was an appeal on the table last year, but then it got scuttled by one of the judges who was appointed by Trump. And the tax law that is coming up, the tax case that's coming up, similar cases like that has been resolved by person just giving back the money. So did it have to go to the trial? Not really. If any prosecutor was asked that, would you want to prosecute a recovering addict based on his memoir, many prosecutors would have declined. So of course there is a judicial part of it. This is law. The law was broken, but taking it to the trial, I think, is a little bit more political. It could have been resolved by appeal, as done in many cases.
Luke?
So we began the conversation saying that this should be considered in tandem with Donald Trump. I disagree. Donald Trump is a former president and a presidential candidate. Hunter Biden is a president's son. And I really don't care about this story. I'm in agreement that the law should be enforced. I have no issue with it happening here. But being front page news, I don't understand what the public benefit in reporting on that is. I think that we have to think long and hard about going after the kids of elected officials, even if they're adult kids. Because who wants to run for office? Why would I run for Congress knowing that my family's going to get scrutinized to the same degree that I am? That's not the type of the environment I think we want for our democracy. And I'm just kind of frustrated and dismayed that so much.
Hunter Biden was already tied to the president when he was vice president because of these suggestions that there was undue influence because of the connection. So I see what you're saying, Luke, but this is not a son that came out of nowhere. There were already the links between Biden and his son.
Is your issue here, Luke, that the prosecutors have scrutinized him or the media?
No, prosecutors need to do their job. I think the Republicans have tried to make this election about Hunter Biden, and the more we talk about that, the more we're helping that electoral strategy. And I just don't see why there's not a public benefit in covering this to the degree that we have as people providing information and analysis.
If the prosecutors are bringing a case against the son of a president and an adult son, a 50-year-old son of the president, you're suggesting that that's not newsworthy?
It should be reported on, but it should not be on the front page of the major newspapers of this country.
And I guess I can take it from that comment, and we should not be discussing it on Ivory Tower.
I didn't vote for it.
That's right. And for the audience, we do vote on what topics we're going to discuss. And
I'm not trying to be sour grapes. It's just my view.